What is going on? I'm Zedmod. Almost started at the Warship screen. I don't know why I try not to do that, but I do. We've got code Zedmod in the shop. No June update sneak peeks yet. This is becoming mildly disconcerting. Regardless, I am still working on getting random buildings upgraded so that I have the highest XP level, just in case there's a new headquarters level and it requires XP 77 or something like that. I'm getting my engraver, trying to get all my things perfect, upgrading all my heroes, and just trying to load up that boat. Not knowing what the upgrade's gonna bring means trying to get all things fixed. Well, moving from 17 to 21 on Warships yesterday, finally put a mini push in on this account, and it went fairly all right, and my times and wins are not all that great, to be honest. We did get a 232, but 229, but like 213s and 214s. Had to get a little bit lucky. Should be around 230 or faster, but just making some simple mistakes. And I haven't figured out some of the new bases yet, so there is some things to be done. Just unlocked the medkit at tick 1. Just unlocked the rocket launcher at tick 1. Both of them useless, but there's nothing else for me to unlock, really. Hulk Hogan is the hero of the day, though. If you don't have Hulk Hogan, the Zooka fanboy recently renamed, go get him ASAP, because when you put him next to Brick, he goes absolutely ham. Now, the attacks that I've been doing have one boat of Seeker most of the time with that Seeker boost. Don't do it without the Seeker boost. You can also use one boat of Bombardiers, but then you can't flare, and I like to use flares, and I use too many flares. Also, the Hulk Hogan flare is super helpful. We do now have building damage. I just upgraded both of those. I definitely need more GBE. That is my downfall. I am just token poor because I maxed my barrage and my artillery. This account was not getting any love. I was kind of just dropping it and not caring, and as a result I have tanks unlocked and I've got my GBE not maxed, and it was an offensive account, but it had building damage, and so realistically I probably should spend the diamonds to get that to be GBE and that to be troop damage, and also that should be troop damage, but I'm just too cheap. I've already got the diamond rank. Now I just need to get into 2150. I'll show you what kind of hits I've been doing. I think Mad Twin was a little bit different, so we'll start here. And this base, I love this base. When you get this base, just drop on the right. That's all you have to do. Like literally just drop on the right and then full clear. Just walking through it, like maybe clear a couple shock mines here and there, throw some critters back there to get rid of the rocket launcher, and then just battle orders through all of it. Zero skill, zero effort, and then just watching the timing back there so we can shock that microwaver. Why I shocked the flamethrower too and made it a slightly more difficult shock, I don't know, but those perimeter bases are the easiest ones to beat in my opinion. And sorry. And then we go into, am I showing you the right one? There we go. So this base, like, just because it's so narrow, it made it super, like, everything is in this, like, alleyway. So don't build a base like this, and then you're just gonna run through it. And heavy chop is up front. If you're not used to using Hulk Hogan or Brick, be very aware of the range of grabblers. The grabbler will grab Brick or Hulk Hogan, and then King Kong Bundy will eat your lunch and bad things happen. Regardless, getting going, getting moving, being aware of where shock launchers and doom cannons are, and then screwing it up anyways, and don't really need to do anything yet. We've got Brick on the left-hand side, and anytime you can get Brick with Hulk Hogan, you are basically like the Legion of Doom, just absolutely crushing your way through bases. When Hulk Hogan gets that Zooka Fan action going with Brick, so much damage. It is so useful. And when he doesn't stand by Brick, it is not nearly as good. And you notice that I used, sorry, I'm getting a little bit excited, making some old-timey WWF references. When you use his flare, and then there's an active flare. He doesn't care about the active flare. As you saw there, he kind of just started shooting cannons, and that was not ideal. I did drop very, very, very late Seekers, because I was worried that my Seekers were going to go not in the path, and I didn't even show that part of the hit. So I'll show you against other bases. Oh god, these times are awful. Just not good at all. But I'll see if I can find a base. That's not the base. Let's keep going. Let's try and find the base. So this is the standard, where you just drop one boat of Seekers for this stuff, and then you just go up this left-hand side. And I know some people are using more Seekers, but for the casual noobisms, one boat of Seekers is plenty. On some bases I use 0. And this base, that is tempting for the Seeker, but I think I'm going to ditch the Seeker on this one. Simply because, or maybe if I do drop it in, I'll wait until we get close so that that shock launcher does not see our Seeker dudes. Maybe that's what we'll do. So, same deal, just all of this stuff, and there's no grappler anywhere in sight, so we can go a little bit quicker and going. Like, just getting these guys going. I hate that Hulk is always the last one off the boat, but it does make a little bit of sense. It does keep him a little bit more likely to be alive. And you know what? Let's just send him over to here just to make gosh darn sure that that grappler does not do anything at all. And now we're just going to send them into about there, and we'll throw a shock about there, and I think we should be good. We're just going to full clear on this left-hand side. I almost said right-hand side, and now we're going to go something like this and drop you there, and we should be good, I think. A Brick and our friend Hulk Hogan are not in the same area, which is going to mean that the exact thing that I just told you to be sure of is not happening. So we have made all sorts of mistakes, but I think we're still good because that couple boats of Seekers on that left-hand side doing some decent things, and now we can get a move on and deal with this thing here, this microwaver, using our friend Hulk Hogan, and that is going to keep some of our troops alive, and then we can just get a move on, throw a shock there and a couple artillery there, and that should get us a halfway decent time-ish. See, like, it's just not perfect. We're getting a 227, which might win, but overall, I'm still figuring it out. There's still some things, and Marine O, that O, I've been very tempted to make a Zedmont name with that O in the middle of it, but have not embraced the letters yet, and we've moved up a little bit. My goal at the moment is only 2150. I don't know that I have the patience to play this season any longer than I have to, but we're winning, and this loadout works very well. And like I said, some people, you see that this shock launcher starts to get a bit closer to here, and then this grappler starts to get a bit closer to here, because people know that is the standard hit. So what we're going to do instead is just poke around. There is a shock mine there. We are going to send our Seekers for this engine room, and then we'll just get a move on for the rest of it. We're just going to go right. It's not going to be very pretty. I can already tell you that, but it doesn't really need to be overly pretty. Waiting a second or two for Hulk Hogan to come out. Also, you know what? That shock launcher does look to be a little bit occupied. So we'll go something like that. We'll drop those critters out. We'll get that out. And now we can just battle orders the crap out of it. And getting our Seekers to clear that front little bit by bit. And should be able to get a half decent amount of damage. Come on. And then we're going to move over into, like, central area. That's all I really care about, is being somewhat central. And then we can throw a shock on the shock launcher and get some critters out. And need to just worry about coming around that horn. And our troops are doing halfway decent. That shock launcher doing something. I don't know why people still have a laser. Lasers are completely useless at the second. Try to clear the occasional shock mine, because why the heck not? We'll get rid of that. And then just going. Let's get a move on. Get onto there. Brick is dead. That's why we can't throw a battle orders, but we're going to be slow. This is going to be almost certainly a loss. Anytime Brick dies, bad things happen. We're going to pre-clear some shock mines. We'll throw... Don't need to worry about the Doom Cannon or the shock launcher. When we come back, we'll deal with the shock launcher right about there, and then we'll just barrage all of the things and hope that we don't lose as we should with a time that's going to be in the neighborhood of 2:10. Ugh, just so bad. Like I said, we're still figuring it out. Not sure that Seekers are often the right call. Like in that, they were just dead so early, and they saved me going like 6 feet to the left. So, Hobot Panuk, definitely not how you say that name, pulled off a 218, which is more reasonable. So, this strategy is not perfect. I don't like mixing in the bombardiers though, because you can't throw a what's the word I'm looking for? Whereas this time, yes, this makes a little bit more sense. Like it cuts off. It just makes this line so much cleaner. We're going to go something like that, and then we don't have to worry about that, and everything just cleaner. That last one, the Seeker, I don't think made sense. There is that shock launcher there, so we're going to wait a second or two for our Seekers to come out, and we are going to drop things in the middle. Do need to worry about that grabbling thing, so we're going to drop Brick and our Hulk Hogan dude on the right-hand side. That way this middle heavies do us a little bit of a solid. We're going to drop some critters on the critter launcher because I hate critter launchers. And then once we get a little bit further in, we will deal with more things. So starting to clear in a little bit better. And then we can finally drop our Seeker friend here, and we'll drop a critter there, and we'll drop a shock there. And should be halfway decent once that grabbler goes down. Definitely want that grabbler to go down because I've seen way too many times when the grabbler grabs things we don't want it to, and that is not a great time at all. So there we go. We've started to clear. That shock launcher will hopefully turn left. It's left, not ours. And then we can just get a move on. Getting a move on to all the things. And this is going to be a slightly better time because we had a nice little pathing line. And then other battle orders. I don't even have a clue where Hulk Hogan is, but I hope he's somewhere handy and nearby. And then that shock launcher is going to turn the wrong way, and we're going to get onto that final engine room with a barrage and an artillery, and then Brick's going to take one in the back of the... Oh, she didn't. There we go. Brick is dead. And we are slightly faster, more in the neighborhood of where we need to be, 225. So, I feel with Seekers, I definitely need to experiment with adding a couple more boats. One boat just seems like it's not that great, and sending our Seekers along with your heavy choppas seems to do slightly better as 54321 comes in. And I gotta say, those heavy dudes, I mistook them for warriors many times. So they are the first skin we've had that where they look like something else. Like if you zoom in here, it looks like that heavy is dropping warriors. Those heavy choppas are not dropping warriors. Those are the new skin. Is it called like a luchador? So do consider going in and grabbing that skin if you like the way those look. It is way down here, though, I do believe. Where are we looking at for that skin? Yeah, it's down at the end. Usually, down at the end is reserved for the building skin or the island skin, but today, this season, it is the heavy luchador skin. So, we're going to keep this video short yet again. This season, not really grabbing me, and I've heard that from a bunch of you. Do know that there have been a whole bunch of really good seasons in a row. I don't know if you guys remember, but like those, like 3 seasons ago now, where they had those seasons with the new tech unlocks. There's a bunch of new stuff that can be in the tech tree, and I got to give it to the devs and the creators of the seasons. There have been a bunch of great seasons in a row, and there have to be some not so great seasons as well. And maybe you guys love this season. It just hasn't grabbed me, so... Anyways, looking forward to season 76. Man, that's a high number. Also looking forward to the new June update whenever the heck it comes out. I hope it comes out in June. And I shall talk to you soon. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about the season? If you're using Seekers or a Bombardier boat, or what you're doing and what you think I can do slightly better. Always looking for feedback, because I am a very, very, very filthy casual on this season. So that's all for me. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.